We are on page 50 in your journal. We're going to be talking about the dichotomous key. We started this on Friday. We're continuing it today with some more practice. And on page 50 in your journal, we're going to first define what a dichotomous key is. And we define a dichotomous key as a series of question pairs that lead to identifying an organism based on traits. Now, those traits are usually external, meaning on the outside, things that you can see, but not always. Sometimes they're internal. But most of the time, they're things that we can see on the outside, because most of the time on a dichotomous key, they give you a picture of the organism, or they give you a part, like a leaf from the tree, to help you identify that organism. It might be a footprint from the organism, whatever it happens to be. So there are some main things that you need to think about when using a dichotomous key. You're only going to look at one organism at a time. It's very tempting, especially if they're not using the scientific names, if they're using common names. It's very tempting to get down to about question 3 or 4, and it says something like, looks like a heart, or looks like a star, and you go, oh, I know what that one is, and you jump to a different organism. Please don't do that. You're very likely to make a mistake when you do that. It will work out sometimes, but it won't work out all the time. So it's always important that you only look at one organism at a time until you identify that one organism. Then you go back and you go through the steps again for another organism. Now this one, some people think, well, that's kind of silly. Why did you say that? Number 2, you're always going to start at question number 1. You're never going to just jump to the middle because you think you know what it is. You always start at question 1, and then it will tell you where to go from there. Number 3, you're going to follow the directions you're given. So if you answer question 1 and it says go to number 5, guess where you're going? You're going to number 5. You're not going to 2, 3, 4. You're going to number 5. You're skipping over the ones that it tells you to skip over. And finally, I didn't used to put this one, but I had to, because some people, even though they got to the name of the organism, they would still go on to the next step. And I wasn't sure why. And I said, why'd you do that? And they said, well, you didn't tell me to stop. So rule number 4, stop when we identify the organism. You don't keep going. You stop. Once you get the name and it doesn't say go to 2, 3, 4, whatever, it says the name of the organism, that's where you stop. So on page 312 in your textbook pages, it says, what is a dichotomous key? Almost any type of organism can be identified using a dichotomous key. Dichotomous keys are often used in field guides to identify specimens such as plants and animals. The key consists of a series of questions, and the answer to each question leads to the next question and ultimately to the identification of the organism. A dichotomous key is not used to classify organisms. Instead, it is used to identify organisms that are already classified by their physical characteristics. To use the dichotomous key, you must first carefully observe and examine the organism you'd like to identify. Then you answer a successive set of paired statements or images in the key until the organism is identified. Here is a sample of a dichotomous key, and we're going to do this one together. So we're going to start off looking at these organisms one at a time. You might recognize these, but we're not going to just jump and write the name of it, okay? We're going to use the dichotomous key because we're learning this, we're practicing this. So looking only at the organism for letter A, where do we start? We always start at question 1. Does the animal have fur? So I'm looking at this organism. Does it appear to have fur? Yes. So it says, if yes, go to 3. So I'm not going to read this one. I'm going to go to this one. Does the animal have a long, furry, striped tail? Long, fur, striped. Yes. I'm going to go to 4. Does the animal have a distinctive black band across its eyes? Yes. A white muzzle? Yes. A black nose. Now, you might not have known what a muzzle is. If you didn't, you could have looked it up. You would have gotten more than one definition. There's a muzzle to a gun, but the area around an animal's nose and mouth is commonly called the muzzle. And so this one is a white muzzle. And so it says, if yes, it's a raccoon. We've got a name. We're done. We stop. You'll write raccoon by letter A. All right? Now we're going to do letter B. We're going to look only at this organism. We're going to start at number 1. Does the animal have fur? It appears that it does. So yes, we're going to go to question 3. We're skipping that one. We're going to 3. Does the animal have a long, furry, striped tail? Long, fur, striped. Yes, it does. If yes, we're going to go to question 4. Does the animal have a distinctive black band across its eyes? It does not. It does have a white muzzle. It does have a black nose, but it doesn't have the black band across its eyes. So one part being no means the whole thing is no. So it says if no, it's a white-nosed coati. And I'm not sure why they call it white-nosed because its nose is black, but that's what its name is. So we write it down. Next, you're going to try this one on your own. Stop the video, try it on your own. And so we're going to start with number 1. Does the animal have fur? Yes, it does. We're going to go to question 3. Does the animal have a long, furry, striped tail? Not that I can see. So I'm going to say no. Go to question 5. Does the animal have 4 legs? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's a javelina. I'm going to write javelina. All right? On this one, we're going to start off by putting our heading in the top right corner. This is going to be our example. And so we're doing this one as the example. And you'll do the ones at the bottom on your own. Then we'll go over them. So they're using Roman numerals here. It says leaf 3. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm looking at this organism. I like to either put a circle around it, put my finger on it, whatever, while I am going through my dichotomous key. And I'm going to start here every single time. I'm going to start with question number 1. Question number 1 says compound or simple leaf. Now, I may not know what that means, but in this particular instance, I'm kind of lucky because they tell me what that means. Compound leaf is a leaf divided into leaflets, and a simple leaf is a leaf that's not divided into leaflets. This is not a single leaf. It is divided into leaflets, so this would be a compound leaf. So it tells me to go to step 2. Step 2 says the arrangement of those leaflets can be palmate arrangement or pinnate arrangement. I don't know what those words mean either. Lucky for me, they tell me palmate means the leaflets are all attached at one central point. Pinnate means the leaflets are attached at several points. So I'm going to go and I'm going to draw a dot where my leaflets are attached. And if I only have one dot, then that means it's one central point. But this one has several points, so it is pinnate. That means I'm going to go to step 3. The leaflet shape. Are the leaflets tapered to pointed tips, or are they oval leaflets with rounded tips? Here is the tip. It is very much pointed, and so I have found the name for my organism to be Caria, or the common name is pecan. So underneath here, I am going to bubble that in. I want you to do the rest of these on your own, and then I will go over them. All right, we're going to look at leaf 7, which is this one right here. Step 1, compound or simple? Definitely compound. Step 2, palmate or pinnate? Attached, attached, attached. This is definitely pinnate. Step 3, oval leaflets with round tips or leaflets tapered with pointed tips? These are definitely oval with rounded tips. This is robinia or a locust. So I'm going to bubble that in. Now, I circled them so that if I get the same answer twice, I know I messed up somewhere, because they're not usually going to give you the same organism twice on one So you're only going to use these one time. The next one is leaf number 4. So that's this one right here. Compound or simple, it's one leaf. That's simple. So I'm going to skip to 4. The leaf veins, do they branch out from one central point, or do they branch out from a main vein in the middle of the leaf? This is one central point. Go to step 5. The overall shape, is it heart-shaped or star-shaped? It is star-shaped, so that is a sweet gum. The next one is leaf number 2. So that is this one. And I'm compound or simple? Have to look at it really close. This is actually more than one leaf. It's compound. So I'm going to go to step 2. Are they palmate in arrangement, attached at a single point, or several points? Single point. So this is a buckeye. The next one is leaf 1, and we're going to look at this one right here. Simple or compound? It's simple, so we're going to go to step 4. The veins branch from one middle vein, and so that is going to take us to step 6. And the appearance is toothed or a jagged edge, or untoothed, smooth edge. This is definitely a jagged edge, so that is a birch. And then we're going to look at leaf number 5, which is this one right here. Compound or simple? Simple. Go to step 4. Arrangement of the veins. These veins, it's kind of deceiving because you might want to say, oh, that's off the middle, but all of these are coming from, the main ones are coming from the center. And so that's one central point. We'll go to number 5, and this is star-shaped or heart-shaped? It's heart-shaped, so this is a redbud tree. And then our final leaf that we're going to look at is this one right here. And question 1, compound or simple? It is simple. That's go to 4. Arrangement of the veins. Here we have one main vein, and we have lots of them coming off of the main vein. And that means we're going to go to step 6. Step 6 says the leaf has toothed or jagged edge. Nope. The untoothed or smooth edge. That's a smooth edge. So we have the magnolia. All right.